Come hang out with me while we combine two of Mother Nature's finest things, coffee and camping. There's two types of people in the world, those that drink black coffee and those that haven't been enlightened yet. We'll talk more about that in a sec. Everyone's got a story about their coffee drinking habits, in my experience. Everyone loves to explain how addicted they are and what sort of coffee they enjoy. When I was in high school, in year 11, 12, Dad dropped me off early because it was a long commute and he did it on his way to work. So I'd walk across the road a couple of days a week and get a latte at a coffee shop, at a set of shops. By the time I was at uni, I was trying every cafe on campus, trying to find the best coffee. And at that point, I was still on latte, still adding milk. And then I guess about 5 years ago, I tried black coffee because I think the milk in the coffee was making me feel bloated, making me feel like I've got bad breath, was draining me rather than energizing me. And so I started drinking black coffee, and the rest is history. So these are the two ways I like to brew when I'm out and about and camping. This is an Aeropress, and this in this sunglasses looking case, getting bitten by marsh flies. This is a Wacaco NanoPresso, which does a short black, whereas the Aeropress is up to your imagination. You can do short black, long black, whatever you want. Coffee's been commercialized for over 100 years, well over, and I think there's still misconceptions in 2023 that you need to go to a coffee shop or a cafe in order to have a good cup, or you've got to spend thousands of dollars to put a chunk of metal on your kitchen bench. And both those things are completely false. Making delicious coffee is really easy in these simple ways, and it's just so much fun to experiment and try things. So I highly recommend you branch out and diversify in your coffee, because it can be a really fulfilling journey endeavor to learn more about how you like to drink coffee. I don't know at what point people decided to add cow's milk into a drink that's a fermented or dried and fermented and processed bean and then brewed in water. I don't know how we decided that that was a good idea. I think most people say that it enhances the flavor of coffee or reduces the bitterness, or it sort of mellows it out. And fair enough, if that's you, no judgment. But I urge you, if you haven't really given black coffee a go, you should. So say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to make black coffees for the next 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, I'll say to myself, all right, how did that go? And did I enjoy it? Do I feel better about coffee? And I think that's where people go wrong, because your taste buds aren't used to the bitterness, the acidity, and you try it, and your reaction is, oh, that's not what I want. Push through that, and that's where the benefits come. You won't get the bloat, you won't feel yucky in the tummy afterwards, you won't have the bad breath, you won't have the furry tongue, you won't have all that stuff that comes with having milk. You just get the caffeine, the beautiful taste of coffee, and a wonderful experience direct into your body. When you buy coffee grounds or beans, you get the choice of a blend or a single origin coffee. A single origin means that the beans come from either one region or one community or one farm, and sometimes it's hard to tell which one it is, but they come from the same area. And a blend is a blend of various beans designed to be delicious to the average palate. I have had some blends that I've really enjoyed, but generally I enjoy trying different single origin coffees. So with a blend, because it's made for the average person's palate, it's a bit more generic. The flavors aren't as strong in sort of different directions of the coffee. If you were serving to a large audience and you just wanted everyone to go, that was a nice cup of coffee, then the blend's the way to go. And that's why a lot of coffee shops, they'll have like their house blend, because they know that they can at least do a delicious cup that'll suit most people. So with the single origins, you're getting the best and the worst from that particular bean in that particular place. So this one here, I really like. It's Brazil Labareda from Bermuda. I got it from Bermuda Coffee Roasters in Pakenham in Victoria. And it says caramel fudge notes. So I don't totally buy into all the notes, and I'm not that much of a coffee snob, but I definitely can taste that kind of taste rather than the sort of fruity ones that I've had from other parts of the world. As I get sick of one, I'll try a different one, buy 500 grams of it. If I like it, I'll buy a kilo of it, and I'll keep going until I get sick of it, and I'll try another one. And that's a great way to kind of explore different coffee, but also, you know, pick ones you really like and get amongst it. Just quickly, forgot to mention, single origin will last a lot longer, whereas a blend will tend to have a shorter shelf life. So that's a consideration too. When I get a beautiful new 1 kilo bag of coffee, at home I've got a canister that I bought on Amazon, and it's a vacuum seal. So I pour about half of it into there. That works really well. And I bring the bag with me. So when I'm out and about camping, or I want to make one on the road, I've found that these bags are excellent. I still haven't found a better way to carry the actual grinds or the beans when I'm out camping. So this bag here from Bermuda in Pakenham has a valve on it that lets air out but not in. So what you do is it's got a zip block on the top. So you close it and then you roll it and then you squeeze the air out. Snap lock bags are probably good, but I find that you get a kind of taste from the plastic after a while, whereas this just seems to work so well. So that's my recommendation. Use the bag that you get from your coffee roaster or coffee grinder and you'll be winning. It's a good idea to keep all your coffee stuff in one place. I've got this canvas bag, coffee bag by Blacksmith, and it's really good. So it's got a marine carpet base and a little divider to put little bits and pieces at the back. So yeah, recommend that one. Just have everything together, keep everything neat. All this talk about coffee, I'm starting to get quite the hankering. One more thing before I brew some up. Let's talk about cups. So I feel like I've spent my whole life trying to find a travel cup that I like and that is reliable. This is the one that I think is the holy grail. The Wacaco, I forget its name, but it's the Wacoco cup. Most that I've tried, right, I either take the first sip and somehow the seal just spills some on me. The Frankie green ones, I've tried a few of those, and every single one, my first sip ends up down my front. I avoid plastic ones. I feel like they go pretty manky quickly with the coffee oils and mold, even if you clean them regularly. So this one here, it's very simple. It's a screw top, like just got a screw seal, and it's only got one hole, so it doesn't have a breather hole, so it trickles out. So if you're just trying to drink coffee slowly while you're driving, it's absolutely perfect for that. You can't sort of pour heaps in and burn yourself as well. And it's just an opening with a little seal plug, and it goes like that. Holds a decent amount. It's really comfortable to hold, and it looks like it'd be unstable, but it's got a really nice grippy bottom on it. So well done, Wacoco. I'm happy to be a partner of yours if you want to sponsor me. The other one I've got, my sister got me this. This is a Yeti, which are an American, now made in China, I think, but American-owned company. These are getting really popular. It's a simpler design, so you just got a rubber seal that you push on, which I've found is less robust than that. So, and the seal, the actual opening, is on a magnet. If I can get it off, yep, just like that. And it's not as good a seal. So this I can turn upside down, chuck it, put in my bag upside down. I know it's gonna not leak. Whereas this, it's more kind of a convenience that you can open and close it. I wouldn't turn this upside down anywhere. This is great for cold drinks though. It's a great size. You can tip a can of soft drink in here and then top it up with something a bit stronger. I've done that a few times and it works great for that. Yeti do make a smaller one, so like a mug type one, which would compete with this more directly. Yet to try it, but I probably will, and I'll let you know how it goes. Good travel mug, really important. I make a coffee in the Aeropress with this one every single morning going to work. I grab it on my way out the door, and it's just great. It's yeah, and it looks really cool as well. Not that that matters. Out there with Dan, we're not about looking cool, but this works. You can use a jet boil or a butane stove if you don't want to spend the money on a jet boil, but the jet boil is great. But really, how good is lighting a fire and boiling some water? This is the Aeropress GO. The travel version of the Aeropress comes in this neat little container. Rubber lid, little container for your filters, the Aeropress itself, and you've got a stirrer and a scoop for your coffee and a cup to enjoy your coffee with. But this is the Aeropress itself. Essentially, it's an immersion brewer, which means the coffee and the grinds sit all together. So this is the inverted method. I won't go into too much detail, but there's different ways you can do it. You put your coffee grinds in, you put your water in, you let it steep or brew for a while, and then when you're ready, I've opted for stainless steel filters like this one, and rather than using the paper ones, you screw that on the top, and then you put it upside down on your cup of coffee, and then like a giant syringe, you plunge down and push the water through the grounds. In this way, you've got some pressure of it going through the grinds, so you get kind of espresso style, but there's nowhere near enough pressure to create an actual espresso in this method. So it's an immersion brewer with espresso style or taste. I like to leave it about 2 minutes, upend it, and then plunge through. There you go. The best thing about the Aeropress is that it's an easy cleanup. So you got to clean up the stirrer that you stirred with at the start. But then essentially, this comes off. The filter, you rinse off as well. And then the puck, as I like to call it, which you'll see why, just falls out of it like that. Because this is a vacuum chamber and it's plunged through, you just need to wipe the top off it. And Aeropress say that's enough to then get ready to use it next time. Occasionally though, I pull it apart and give it a rinse on the inside too. But yeah, it's a pretty quick cleanup. And this is the Wacaco NanoPresso sunglasses case. The unit is inside it. On the bottom side, you've got your cup and your water reservoir for when it's in use. You fill it with boiling water. This is a little scoop you get for your coffee grinds. On the other end, this is the business end. So this is where your coffee comes out of. You've got a holder to put your coffee in. And then this is where it filters through the bottom. So the way it works is you put it like this. This is a handle that comes, or a button that comes out, and then you pump this like this. I'll do it in a sec, you'll see, and that builds pressure. So you're basically building pressure to force the water through the grinds like you would an espresso machine, but you're doing it all by hand. Coffee scoop into the coffee holder, and this is the perfect size to push this down and get rid of the excess. So probably put in a bit too much, and it's really careful to get a good seal that you kick off any from around the edge. So that's that. That sits inside here. And then that top bit, being really careful not to spill the grinds, screws in on top, and that provides pressure and further squishes it down. Then on this side, we get our water, fill the reservoir up so it's one shot of coffee. There's a marker in there so you can't go wrong. Too much, so there's a little marker, get rid of some. And then, ow. Oh no, I've got a bug in there now. These marsh flies are crazy. Fill it up to the little line, and then screw it in, like so. And then you undo the pump, invert it, get your cup out, and then you start pumping 1, 2, 3. It usually takes about 7, 3. You see that squirt out and through, and then just maintain a constant rhythm. Oh, I'll have to bring the camera back around now. You should see the delicious crema that this thing's got on it. It really is like something you'd get at a restaurant. It's that good. Make sure you get every last bit out of it. These flies are relentless. Oh, so good. I'm going to grab the camera. The Wacaco also comes with a little brush that I forgot to show you. Here it is, makes it a bit easier to clean everything. It was loose in my coffee bag. The cleanup with the Wacaco isn't as easy, I find, because it's just all a bit awkward. So you've got a puck still, you can try and get that out, but pretty much every part of it you've got to rinse and dry off. So not as convenient when camping, but still very portable. Well, there it is. 2 excellent ways that I like to brew coffee when I'm out and about, when I'm camping, when I'm in the bush. I've already finished the Aeropress, following up a long black with an espresso. I might be buzzing off the trees, might be able to climb that one like a koala in a sec, we'll see. But I really like the Aeropress as a versatile bit of kit. It's so robust and compact. If I go to a cafe with someone, and I say that because I don't usually go to cafes by myself, and there's an Aeropress option on the menu, I usually opt for that. So I'm not saying that this is a consolation for an expensive coffee machine. I'm saying that this directly competes and replaces an expensive coffee machine. So that's how good I think it is. Each year there's a world championship where people come from all over to compete to brew the best Aeropress, and that's how all these different variations and methodologies came about, the different ways you can use it, the different filters, how many times you stir, the temperature of the water, how long you brew for, all that stuff. That's why I really kind of like it, is you can experiment with it. So yeah, it's the real deal, this thing, and for somewhere between 40 and 70 bucks Australian, depending on where you get it from, you know, why not get one and give it a go? I really do urge you, if you haven't tried black coffee, to give it a go. I'd love to be the one that persuaded you to do it. So one day I might meet someone and be like, Dan, I tried black coffee and wow, it changed my life. And you know, I wouldn't say I've dreamed of that moment, but I might start doing that. Anyway, on the channel, we talk about camping simply. If that resonates with you, come and join us and subscribe. And I will, down the track, do a more detailed video on how I like to use the Aeropress. Tell me out there with Danners, how do you like coffee and how do you brew coffee when you're on the go? See you soon.